Let us not forget everything that happens. It's by the will of Allah. Holy will. It's time to unite and stand, and we will be the best amongst men. It's not time to be extreme or duty unthinkable, but to stand together as one. Tune into Sunnah followers, stream it every day, various platforms. Trust me, you'll find a way. Sunnah followers. Seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. The seerah of the Prophet Muhammad, the final messenger. Oh, living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison. Living in this dunya to the believer is a prison.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deed and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is Sadaqah Jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free, and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen, guys, this is very important, and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, Sadaqah Jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment. Join us every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the Ask Sister Laila live call-in and answer show. Please join Ustadah Laila Nasheeba. If you have any questions in regards to this theme, call in at 862-370-2838. Now streaming on various platforms right here on Sunnahfollowers. Oh yeah, and don't forget to join us in the 24-hour Zoom room for behind-the-scenes access.
You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah by your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. You will make it through. The fitrah is awake in you. With Quran and Sunnah on your side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through. With Quran and Sunnah on his side, here's a place where it will thrive. You will make it through.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat wa salam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody here to our Aqidah class for today. And this is our class on diluting wala wal bara. Diluting wala wal bara. And this is the class in which we are discussing going over the book that's written by Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, which is a masterpiece in and of itself, because what he did in this whole series, it's a trilogy. He broke down the meaning of the Shahada, the meaning of what it is that we as Muslims believe in, what we Muslims believe in, and how we Muslims practice, and all of that, all in this trilogy. And subhanallah, I tell you guys, we're living in the days of fitan that our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam warned us of. And subhanallah, all the signs of the last hour, what's leading up to the first of the major signs, which is the war against Islam, is already here. I'm sure you guys, I hope you guys have been paying attention to what's going on in Africa. Because like I told you guys, the Zionists, they're intelligent. They know how to destroy by dividing a nation. They know how to divide a nation. They want to keep all the focus on Gaza to make you Muslims who are not educated, and that's most of us, think that it's all about the Arabs, it's all about Gaza, ain't nobody a Muslim unless they an Arab, and all that dumb stuff, when 60% of the Arabs are not even Muslim. 60% of the Arabs, not 60, 30% of the Arabs, 60% are Muslim. 30% of the Arabs are Christian. 30% of the Arabs of the Arab world is Christian. That's the reality. Okay, but there's more Muslims in Africa. There's more African states than there are that are Muslim than there are Muslim states. Okay, and most Africans are of the Islamic faith. So though they want to keep your attention on Gaza, so you all can sympathize and like y'all doing and think that it's all just about that part of the world. While they're genociding, they have been genociding Africa for decades, but don't nobody care because they black people. That's just how it is. The prophet said we'd be back to racism and all that crap like we are. I hope y'all been paying attention what's been going on over there. We got a few of those Muslim countries that threw out America and the United Kingdom. Told them and they called in Russia. Oh, that's I told y'all, World War III. World War III will be the war against Islam. Russia's on the side of the Muslims, okay? The rest of the Western world is on the side of the Zionists. So we got about several, and it's spreading. A lot of the African countries have called in Russia to come to their help and their defense and to help them kick out America, kick out the United Kingdom, kick out Australia, all those Zionist countries that support Israel. And so now we know that the war in Africa in different countries has intensified. And Niger is a Muslim country. It ain't no Christian country. Niger is a Muslim country. Look what's going on today. Look what happened today. It's going on in the Congo too. The Muslims in Congo, they done called in Russia. Oh yeah. Sudan, that's a Muslim country, called in Russia. Russia done came to the rescue over there in Africa. because Russians ain't stupid. They know what they want the rest of the world, all the world, to focus on Gaza, while the Zionists try to destroy the Muslims states of Africa so they can take the natural resources that Africa holds, which is the gas and the minerals that the rest of the world needs. The Gulf just holds the oil, but Africa holds the other minerals and resources. Divide and conquer, use that racism. So it's happening. Like I told you, it ain't gonna get no better. All your protests, all your boycotting, all your kafir calling Muslims kafir because they ain't wrapped her up in a flag of Palestine. It ain't gonna change nothing. This is all the qadr of Allah. This is all the doing of Allah. This is all Allah's work. He told us in the Quran what would happen, and the Prophet Muhammad detailed it step by step. If you Muslims would learn your religion, you'd see that everything that's happened today was already detailed step by the Prophet. And if you was a person like me who know them hadiths, you can see. That's why I ain't panicking. I'm panicking, but in a different way. I ain't panicking because of what's going on, because I'm not, and I ain't protesting against the qadr of Allah. That's all y'all doing. All you people with the flags on, y'all just protesting against Allah's qadr. Y'all just showing that you people that don't understand what la ilaha illallah means. Okay? But for those of us who do understand, it's affecting us in a different way. We're counting our days, basically. We're preparing for the grave, basically. We're preparing for death, okay? And we're preparing ourselves spiritually so that when the war comes here, we'll be able to do what Allah commands us to do, like the believers amongst the Gazans have done, like those believers in Africa have done. We'll be able to handle ourselves with the strength and the resilience that they have. Okay, so that's how the people that know what's happening is it's handling it. We're preparing spiritually for Allah's qadr. Where the rest of y'all keep on protesting, the rest of y'all keep on boycotting Allah's decree. See where it's gonna get you, because it ain't stopping nothing. No, it ain't stopping. Period. I keep telling y'all this is the beginning of what's leading to the end. So brace yourself, Muslims. All right. So anyway, today what I'm going to do is we're going to complete the last part of chapter, 4, right? This is chapter 4, is it chapter 5, which speaks about self-reflection. That's what all you Muslims should be doing around the world now with the signs of Allah, is doing a lot of self-reflection, recognizing what your strengths are as a Muslim, what your weaknesses are. And I am flabbergasted to see how the Muslim women in the West, you guys don't know much of nothing about what, let me clarify that. My students practice the deen. All of the women who I've been calling on all week to answer these questions that couldn't, these are not women that don't wear hijab. These are not women that don't pray. These are not women that even work. My students don't work. I only have maybe a few who do. Most of my students are housewives. They got good husbands who provide and maintain them. The women on my website know that their home is better. They don't even want to work. They have no desire for that. They're educated. The women on my website are all educated with college degrees and stuff, but they work at home, taking care of what Allah commands them to take care of. I got a couple that do work outside the house, okay? But they know they don't have to. They're doing it just to utilize their skill, because they're in the medical field, which is different. You got to get some experience. You got to know how to be a nurse, okay? But what I found out about my students is that they're a bunch of robots. These women dress properly. They wouldn't even consider going out the house to get any type of job, but they can't explain what type of job a woman can get and what type she can't, because it's like they're robots. They've just been memorizing what I teach, but not applying it to their heart, because they probably said, hey, I ain't going to be a working woman anyways. That ain't important for me. But it's important for your children to know, because each generation of Muslims becomes worse than the previous one. Your children may be a part of the war against Islam. You may not live to be a part of it, but your children will. Your grandchildren will. And like the prophet said, when that war affects everyone on earth, the only thing that will keep the believers, give the believers the ability to handle it, because it's going to be traumatizing, is their la ilaha illallah. So you sisters have to take what I'm teaching and apply it to your heart with understanding, because your children may be a part of World War III. They may be the ones living at that time, if not you. You'll probably live too. I might not, but you sisters will, because I'm older than all y'all. Okay? Fresno might not be here. Anissa probably won't be here. Sabrine probably won't be here. I probably won't be here. Jamila probably won't be here. We the old sisters. Okay, but the rest of y'all most likely will. So you got to know these answers so you can explain them to your children. Because the only thing that's going to suffice you and get you through the calamity that's about to hit us all is la ilaha illallah, your belief in that and the firmness you hold to that. Not reading the Quran. Not Quran tajweed ain't going to help you. I'm just going to keep it real. All that Quran tajweed that you sisters know, it ain't going to help you in your time of calamity. Okay? No matter how beautiful you can sing the Quran, it ain't going to save you. The prophet said what's going to save you is la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, believing in that, holding firm to that, holding true to that. Does everybody understand that? That's what's going to get you through. So I was kind of surprised to see that you sisters, y'all know what you can and can't do, but don't know why. Why you can or can't do it. And some of you don't even know what you can and can't do. Okay? So before I end up this lecture from the chapter 5, I'm going to start again with the same question I've been starting with all week, but I'm not going to take it to the extreme today because I'm kind of beat out from it. Plus, we got the Islam Q&A show tonight that I need to prepare for. So I'm going to ask the same question I've been asking all week and pray to Allah that I can get someone that can answer it correctly. What do I mean by correctly? Correctly means you answer the question yes or no, and stick to whatever the question is. Don't bring in the kitchen sink. Don't bring in the bathtub unless I ask about a bathtub, unless I ask about a kitchen sink. The first thing you do is listen to the question carefully and address it with yes or no. That's the first thing. Write it down. Then if your answer is no, you must immediately bring the clear evidence to support it. Clear evidence is not what you heard some famous celebrity say on TV. Clear evidence is not a fatwa from the 4 imams. Clear evidence is a verse that clearly says that whatever the thing is haram from Allah. Or a clear hadith where the Prophet Muhammad said that whatever the thing I'm asking about is haram. That's if you say the answer is no. And then after you say it's no, that's when you go into details. What are the details that Allah told us makes it no? What understanding? This is where the companions come in. How did the companions understand this to not be so? What did Ibn Abbas say? What did Aisha say? What did any of the original companions say that the understanding as to why the answer is no is no? That's how you answer if it's no. If the answer to the question is yes, you're going to say yes. Y'all got that? Whenever a person says yes, the burden of evidence doesn't fall on you. The burden of evidence is only, I sound like a paralegal because I am one. The burden of evidence falls on the person that said that you're guilty, or the person that said that it's haram. So if you say the answer is yes, you don't have to give no clear evidence to support that. Because as the Prophet Muhammad said, the things that Allah does not mention are good and clean and lawful. But what you do after you say yes, you provide examples, not from your personal life, because your personal life, you could have been a stripper. Who cares? You provide examples from those original companions showing how they may have done the thing. Everybody understands. That's the way we answer correctly, intelligently, Islamically. All right? So y'all ready for the question? Y'all ready? I don't have anybody here in the Zoom room. Is anybody here? Guess I ain't got no audience.
We here, Sister Laila.
Okay. Well, let's get ready for it. I'm trying to make it simple. Because y'all going to make me angry if y'all don't get it right. Give me a sec. I'm making this real simple. I was going to ask y'all a question, but that one's kind of difficult. I think I'm trying to make it something simpler. Okay, here's the question. Can I, as a Muslim woman, make a career of being an acrobat? Do you guys know what an acrobat is?
Yes.
Okay, perhaps I want to work for Cirque du Soleil. I hope you guys know what Cirque du Soleil is. I want to work as a professional. Get off that mic until I'm done. That's the problem. Y'all mumble, grumble, fart instead of listening. Okay, can I accept a job as an acrobat for Cirque du Soleil? Is this a job that a Muslim woman can do? And if you answer, go into detail. No fiddle faddle, no picking up a paddle, no talking about the sink. I want everything to relate to me being an acrobat. Remember Dalil, evidence. Remember examples from the prophet, not from your twisted slave life. Okay? And what do I mean by slave life? A lot of African Americans come from almost all the African Americans here come from slavery. I don't want to hear what the master had done. I want to hear what the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and his companions. That's going to be the example, not your personal life as an ex-slave, because you had to work the fields. Everybody got it? Who would like to start us off?
Okay, I would say no, because an acrobat is like, it's like gymnastics, and you're literally displaying yourself out there. Not only that, while you're displaying yourself, you get the attention of men, which later on can be a harm for you. And like, for example, as a Muslim woman, we shouldn't be, like Aisha said, as a Muslim, we can only show our face, our hands, and whatever that's naturally there. But as a gymnast, you have like all this short clothes on, and basically you're just making a public spectacle of yourself.
What's wrong with me making a public spectacle of myself? What's wrong with me displaying myself? It's a gift that God gave me. I'm an acrobat. What do you mean by display myself? What's wrong with displaying myself? Why is displaying myself bad? Why is displaying myself good? See? Details, details, details. Anybody else? That was okay, but it wasn't. If you was talking to a non-Muslim, they'd eat you up because you didn't explain nothing.
Can I talk now?
If you ain't coming here with no slave mentality.
No, I'm making a spectacle of yourself. We have laws and we have guidelines that allow.
Okay, first start off with, hold on. I told y'all the sequence. First start off with yes or no, follow the sequence. Let me start it. Hold up. Let's start it off right. I'm asking you the question and just stay focused. Can I, as a Muslim woman, make a career as an acrobat for Cirque du Soleil? Now you go.
No, we cannot, as a Muslim, make a career as an acrobat, because Aisha has given about how we are not supposed to dress outside of our home, how we are supposed to dress outside of our homes. And she mentioned the word spectacle, which means that.
Who is Aisha?
Aisha. Aisha gave.
Who is Aisha?
But I'm adding to it, huh?
Who's Aisha?
Aisha was who's talking.
Oh, somebody else take the mic. Thank you. Go sit down. Didn't I tell y'all what to don't do that? Somebody else want to try. This is the question. Hello. Can I take a job as a Muslim woman working for Cirque du Soleil as an acrobat? I want a clear answer. I don't want to hear about somebody. I don't know no Aisha. Who is that? I don't know that. Anybody else? Please go. The brothers have arrived. They said, here we go again, Layla. Here we go again. Is there any other sister in the Zoom room? I'm keeping it short. That's why I cut her off. Make one mistake, you done. Okay, she messed up. What did Anissa do wrong, guys? Can anybody tell? Let's see if we can point out the error. What was Anissa's error that made me tell her get off the mic? Can anybody tell me what the...
I know my error.
What was your error?
I said Aisha as opposed to Aisha or our Prophet.
Well, why don't you just stop doing that?
I was trying to complete.
I don't want you to complete. When we answer questions about Islam, do we complete somebody else's numbskull answer? Or do we answer based on when y'all ask me a question, Sister Laila, how do you perform the Fatiha? Do I tell y'all where last week Dr. Jamali came in here and told y'all blah, blah, blah? Or do I answer you the question? Yeah, the brothers y'all see the brothers are saying, Lord have mercy. Anybody younger than Anissa would like to answer this question? Anissa's 80-something years old. She might be fickle in the head. Can somebody else get on this mic and answer this question? You young women in this website, answer this question. Anissa knows how to dress anyway. You know, the rest of you young sisters with this college stuff, y'all the ones need to be answering. Here's the question, Mayleon. Here's the question, Norto. Here's the question, Aisha. Try it again. Here's the question, Mina. Here's the question, Precious. Here's the question, Maisha, and all the young sisters. Forget about Anissa. She's old. Can I, as a Muslim woman, take a job as an acrobat for Cirque du Soleil? Why or why not? This is so easy. Aisha, your answer wasn't bad. It's just you needed to go into more detail. Try it again, Aisha.
Okay. So as a Muslim woman, you know, nothing in our religion, you know, forbids us from working as long as we're not trying to be like in like a public display. And some of the examples would be like how the Prophet peace be upon him.
Wait a minute, just tell me, what is a public display?
Wives,
yeah, what do you got to break that down? Because people, break down when you say you did good. We can take a job of any career, like you said, as long as we don't make ourselves a public display. That's where you're going to have to define, what do you mean by public display? Because nobody understands that. Non-Muslims don't, and Muslims, the women don't. What is say, what is it? What is a public, what is meant by public display? What does it mean?
Like basically you're trying to show off towards others, or like
no, not show off. This is where y'all got to learn a dictionary. This is an English word. What does it mean to be on public display? What does the word public mean? What does the word display mean? This is English. This ain't Arabic. This ain't Somali. Y'all got to speak to the people on their language. You guys are English speaking women. Explain to the people what public display means. Explain it. Go ahead, Aisha.
Like you're out there for the world to see you. Like you're out there, like the world to see you. Everyone is seeing you. And like I was saying, since Islam doesn't forbid us Muslim women from working, as long as we're not there for the whole world to see us. Like some of the examples would be how the Prophet, peace be upon his wives, they used to work from home, you know, and that tells us back that back then they did the same thing. You know, they can work as long as they're not like having the whole world seeing them, so it don't.
Okay, now this is where you got.
I would like to ask.
Wait a minute, get off the mic, Norto. You overruled. Your sister got this ball game.
Well,
no. Let me deal with Aisha. She's doing good. Get off the mic. Hello. Thank you. Aisha, this is where the problem is going to come in. When y'all throw in the Prophet's wives, and you dealing with a person of knowledge, and you say that the Prophet's wives worked at home, now they can turn that around and say, so wait a minute, now you're contradicting yourself. You said that I can work publicly as long as I'm not making a display of myself. But then you're telling me that the Prophet's wives didn't go out the house. They worked at home. So either I can or I can't. If you're going to throw in that part of the Prophet's wives, you better give the whole meaning. You better give the whole reason why. Why did they work at home? Otherwise, you leaving the door open for the extreme Salafis to come in and tear you up. So you cannot leave out important information. So take it from public display.
Okay, yeah, the reason why the Prophet, peace upon him, his wives were working from home is because, as we said, they're the Prophet's wives, and people were there to, if they see them like the enemies, they will try to harm them. So that was the reason why they had to work from home. So the people, like people.
So did other women. So now, since you showed that the Prophet's wives didn't do it, I wouldn't use them as an example. Because then the extreme Salafis will say, well, shouldn't you be following their example and sit your butt at home? I would use examples of women, I would use examples that show that a woman doesn't have to be at home. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah.
I can use that as an example like I did when I was teaching y'all, because I know the hadiths. I can cut them up. I can cut any brother down, come in my face. But can you do that? Can you remember them hadiths? They will eat you. Them Salafi, extreme, radical, borderline, ISIS brothers will tear you up. Then they shoot you. That's how terrible they are. So that's why I tell y'all, when y'all pick y'all examples, be careful and pick examples that they can't tear you up with. But you're doing good. Go ahead. So can a woman work? You said, yes, she can. She can work outside the home as long as she doesn't make herself put herself on public display. And you did say that public display means to show herself publicly, but I would have threw in another word with that, because they could say, well, I can't go to the store then. What do you mean? So you need to give more information. As long as she doesn't make herself, I wouldn't use display. I would use spectacle, because spectacle brings a little bit more meaning with it. Display means to be seen. Y'all look up the meaning of these words in English. Display is a word that means to be seen. I put an apple on a shelf. I am displaying my apples. I am putting the apples out to be seen. So that's why I didn't use the word display with y'all. Display, I didn't say that a woman cannot be seen. Allah does not say that a woman cannot be seen. Allah says, do not make a public spectacle of yourself. What does a spectacle mean? Spectacle means to draw attention to yourself unnecessarily, to draw attention because you want to soak it up for yourself. So that's the difference. If I take an orange and put my oranges on display, that means I want you to see my oranges. But if I'm going to take an orange, decorate it, and put a cap on it, I'm making a spectacle of it. I'm making it stand out. A spectacle. Look up the meaning of the English word spectacle. It means to stand out, to draw attention, to draw your attention to it unnecessarily for no good reason. I would throw in the words for no good reason. As Muslim women, we cannot suck in attention or draw attention to us without good reason. And there's only two reasons for us to do it. Y'all see? You understand now, Aisha? You get it?
Yes, I understand.
So y'all choose your words better. Don't say public display. Allah didn't say we can't be on display. Allah said we can't make a public spectacle of ourselves. It's different. So try it again. Start over. Why come a Muslim woman can't be an acrobat for Cirque du Soleil? Go ahead.
There's nothing in Islam that forbids a Muslim woman from working, as long as she's not trying to be a public spectacle. And I would say, and some of
and then that's when you explain what is meant. The way I just explained it, that's when you explain what public spectacle is, because people don't know the difference. Explain what it is first.
Like showing yourself to the world, and
No, y'all got to write that down. I want every one of y'all to do some homework. Like I tell y'all, forget about learning Arabic. None of y'all need to learn how to speak Arabic, because guess what? It ain't going to save you from the hellfire. Forget about Arabic. Y'all better learn your English language. I want everybody to go learn the meaning of the word spectacle. 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 It's a different meaning than display. A public spectacle and a public display are two different things. I have a group of my apples and oranges are all put on the counter for public display. That's what display means. Now, my neighbor next to me has made a public spectacle of her apples and oranges. She got them hanging by strings. Some of her apples are being bobbed up and down into a water. Some of her oranges are colored. That's a spectacle. She made a spectacle of her apples and oranges to draw the people's attention in unnecessarily, to suck the people in unnecessarily, to try to outshine my apples, to try to outshine everybody else's apples and oranges. That's a spectacle. Do y'all understand the difference? People in Zoom, do y'all understand the difference between the meaning of the word spectacle? Muslim women cannot make a spectacle, a public spectacle. What's the difference in Laila Nasheeba wearing makeup? I have on makeup. I do. But if you were to put a woman next to me, a Kafir woman next to me, okay, with makeup on, she'll have on, let's put Gwen Stefani. Y'all picture Gwen Stefani or Christina Aguilera or even Nicki Minaj. What's the difference in my makeup and the makeup Nicki Minaj wear? Nicki Minaj got on makeup to emphasize the big fullness of her lips. And she'll have on gloss. She's got on fake eyelashes that go up to the moon to draw attention to her beautiful eyes. She has on the same kohl I have on, but hers is thicker. Her kohl is thicker to accent her Caribbean eyes. By the way, mine are too. Okay? I got a nose ring on. Okay. Nicki Minaj got on 2 nose rings. Then she got her lip pierced. And when she speaks, you see the ring in her tongue. So what's the difference? I am not a spectacle, but Nicki Minaj is. Nicki Minaj got hair weave going down to the floor. My hair goes to the floor too, but you can't see it. There's a difference in being a spectacle and being a display. Display means to be seen. Allah does not forbid Muslim women from being seen. The Prophet's wives were seen. If they were not seen, would nobody be able to describe them as well as they do? They were present at the mosque, the Muslim women were. They were present on the battlefield, the Muslim women were. They were present at the Eids. So Muslim women can be seen outside the house, but we cannot be a public spectacle outside the house. Do y'all get it? Aisha radiallahu anha, she loved the color pink and red. Most of the garments that Aisha wore were pink. She wore pink or red dresses. And some of her clothes were made from silk. Some of her shifts were made of satin. So it's not haram for a woman to wear nice clothing. And the desert nights were cold. When it would get cold at night, Aisha wore a fur coat made out of wolf skin. These hadiths are in Bukhari. This is no scholar of hadith would question. I know the hadiths. That's my specialty. The hadiths are authentic. They're there. But was Aisha a public spectacle? No. She was a woman like Layla of dignity. Aisha wore makeup too. All the women wore the same makeup I have on. What y'all see on my face, this is what all Arabic women wore and still do wear. Arabic women been wearing this type of makeup since Allah made Eve. So the way y'all see my face made up, this is how Aisha was made up. This is how Khadijah was made up. I look even better because walk like an Egyptian. Hello, the Kohol of Egypt is better than the Kohol of anywhere else. And I have on Egyptian Kohol. Okay? So Islam doesn't forbid us from being seen, but we cannot be a spectacle. When I walk out the house, look at me. I'm dressed nice. I have on a abaya. It covers me. You can't see nothing but this. I have my khimar over my bosom the way Allah commands. I'm clean like Allah commands. I'm beautiful. Allah says, wear your beautiful garments to every house of Allah. Allah loves beauty. He doesn't like ugliness. But am I a spectacle? I am not a spectacle. You see me on the street, you would say, wow, that's a Muslim woman of dignity. That's a woman of humility. That's a woman of balance, as opposed to Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is a spectacle, drawing attention to her. Layla's just a Muslim. They would just say, wow, mashallah, look at that Arab woman there. That's a beautiful Arab woman. And those are the compliments I get. Every time I leave my house, the non-Muslims come to me and say, oh, I love the men and women. They'll say, I love your what you call it, hijab. I love your jilbab, your abaya. You look so dignified. That's the compliments I get because it's a breath of fresh air. As one Kafir woman told me 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I had to go get a mammogram. When I got my mammogram, the lady in the office said, it's such a pleasure to see a woman covered in clothing and still beautiful and dignified. That's what the Kafir lady told me at the doctor's office. She said, because these women come in here with no clothes on, looking like, I don't understand how they feel comfortable where you can see everything about their bodies. So she said, it's such a breath of fresh air to look at such a dignified woman like you. And the men said the same thing. Yes. Okay. So Islam does not forbid Muslim women from working. Islam does not forbid Muslim women from leaving the home. But what Islam says, whatever we do, do it without making a spectacle of yourself. You Muslim sisters today, y'all make spectacles of yourselves. A lot of y'all wear them fake eyelashes. I keep telling y'all them things are haram. I don't care what some man told you. I'm a woman and I know better than they. Like Umar told the companions, Aisha know better than you. She's a woman. Them fake eyelashes are haram. I'm going to tell you why they haram. Because there's an alternative. Even if you had that eye disease. Even if you old. Because let me tell y'all, let's break it down. When women get old, some of you old women lose your eyelashes. I don't have that problem. Maybe because I wear kohol, Egyptian kohol, okay? But even if you got that old lady's disease and your eyelashes is falling out, you can get some Fiber Lash mascara. Fiber Lash mascara is designed for that. It has the nutrients and the emollients in it to make your lashes thicken and grow. So I know better. Ain't none of you Muslim women should be walking around with no fake eyelashes on, looking like some caterpillar, mothball, cockroach, Nicki Minaj wannabe. And Nicki Minaj don't hold a candle to Laila Nasheeba. Hello, neither do Beyonce. Jump back, Beyonce. If I were you, I'd want to be me too. Hello, I'd want to be me too if I were you. You Muslim women better get y'all dignity together. You better learn your Muslim identity. And you start off by learning the meaning of basic English words. Learn what display means. The difference. When y'all master the meaning of those two words, then I'll be able to come in here and ask that question and get the correct answer. I got it from Latifa, because Latifa's a teacher like me. She's from my community too. She knows them hadiths. Okay? I got the right answer from Mina, because Mina processed it and she implemented it in her heart. She understands what it display and spectacle is. The rest of you young girls learn what spectacle means. Look it up in a Webster dictionary and in Oxford. I want y'all to get the UK dictionary, which is Oxford. And I want you to get the American dictionary of Webster. And both of them will tell you the same thing, just worded different ways. It means to make a public, attractive, attention-seeking, attention-gathering display of yourself. Y'all understand? And that's why we can't wear perfume, because perfume does the same thing. I mean, we can wear perfume around women and in our houses, but we can't put on perfume and go out the house, because the perfume becomes a spectacle. It's something that's causing people to look at you unnecessarily for no reason other than to attract them to. It's like a bug magnet. A spectacle is like a magnet. You're attracting people to you with that perfume. So that's why you sisters are forbidden to wear it out the house unless you're around sisters. Islam makes sense. But like the prophet said, you have to have common sense to understand it. And unfortunately, guys, most Muslims living on planet Earth today do not have common sense. That's the reality. Okay, so do we get it? Y'all get it?
Yeah, I had my answer.
Go ahead, Norto.
Okay. So I said, a woman, she can't be an acrobat because this career goes against Islam, because this is going to make her a public spectacle, which means she's going to draw attention on herself, and she's also putting herself on display while doing acrobats, because this will also draw the attention of men. While she's doing the acrobats, she's moving, her body seductively, and she's also wearing clothes that is showing her body, and she's prancing around and dancing around. And when and Allah told us, Muslim woman, if you leave your home to be dressed properly, which means her face and hands can be shown, and her must not be perfumed, because this will also attract men. Also, when we do leave our homes, when we talk, we should speak in a strong voice, because Allah told us, we don't know the evils that lie in a man's heart. Also, this type of career could also lead to her being harmed, and this career will also have her men will be attracted to her, and it just basically goes against our morals and behaviors as Muslims.
Now, good job. Excellent. Y'all hear her answer? Y'all see how she broke that down? She defined what spectacle means. Good job, Norto. She broke down the Islamic dress for women. She didn't say it goes against our morals. She said it goes against our morals, and she told you why and how, because of the movement. See how she went, she took it in detail. As an acrobat, you have to move around. You know, what happens when we women move around? Our women parts, our body parts jump. Why do y'all think I don't stand up and give dawah? This is why those famous women y'all listen to, part of the crew down there in Texas, and you know, those women that y'all love to watch, and y'all go to those conferences, ISNA conferences with, and they standing up in the audience. You know, we don't do that. Those women are making a spectacle. If I stand up on a stage to give a lecture, what am I doing? Am I putting myself on display? Or am I now becoming a spectacle? Do y'all understand the difference? Let's talk about that. Good job, Norto. Let's talk about that for a minute. Can you sisters see why I tell you and the brothers tell you that no Muslim woman should be standing up on a stage in front of a crowd speaking? Because a crowd of men and women mixed together speaking. Why? Because that woman, I'm standing up. The Prophet Muhammad didn't even stand. When the people would make him, he wouldn't stand in a group. Whenever the Prophet, and this is a group of men, the Prophet would sit and become a part of that group. He would never stand up to make himself a spectacle. Even when talking to the men, he always gathered in the circle. That's why they're called circles of gathering. The Prophet would sit in a circle. He never stood up on a stage. Y'all understand that? So even with, if I was giving a lecture to sisters, I wouldn't stand up over them. I would sit in my chair with them in a circle, in a gathering, like the Prophet did. So first of all, that's not even the etiquette of Islam, for us to stand up on a stage. Like the Prophet told one of the companions, this is the adab of the non-believers. This is what the Romans do. He said, we're not Romans. We do the opposite of them. That's an authentic hadith. What's the source? Muslim. Okay? So when y'all go to these conferences and y'all see these ignorant women who y'all think are female scholars, they ain't no scholars. They can't even answer the basics of Islam. They don't even know what their limits are. If they did, they wouldn't be sitting at these conferences, standing up in a stage talking. And they ain't talking about nothing anyway. They ain't backing up nothing they say with hadith. And they don't even know the hadith. And most of what they say is Sufism, because all of them are Sufis. Hello, every single one of them is a Sufi. Okay? So if I stand up on a stage, I'm making a public spectacle. I done put myself up above you to draw your attention into me, to succor it to me. We don't do that. Men aren't even the Prophet didn't do that. Even Muslim men are forbidden from making themselves a public spectacle. Why do y'all think when you look at the conference that Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd gives, compare Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd's AIM conferences with ICNA and ISNA. Y'all see the difference? What's the difference between ICNA and ISNA conferences and Kareem Abu Zayd's? What's the difference? Can somebody tell me? The
down, they standing up.
Exactly. ISNA and ICNA, the brothers are standing up on a stage. That's not what the Prophet did. But at Kareem Abu Zayd conferences, he's seated at a table. He's seated at a table with all his speakers in a gathering, a circling. The men are circled around them. The men are circled around them. The women ain't nowhere around. The women are upstairs. The women ain't even in the same room with the men. Whereas Ikna and Isna got the women and men sitting together, and here your speakers are standing up. That's not the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't make public spectacles of ourselves, not the women nor the men. We're going to sit down. We all brothers and sisters on the same level. The Prophet said, don't stand for me. Don't move your seat to give it to me. And don't expect I'm going to stand over you either. That's what the unbelievers do. The Romans do that. I ain't that. Learn this deen. So a lot of these brothers and sisters y'all follow on YouTube, they ain't people of the Sunnah, bunch of Sufis. Keep telling y'all that. They ain't no scholars. If they're scholars, why come they don't know the basic adab for gathering? It's called circles of gathering. Gatherings of circles where we're all together, even, not nobody superior over another. Why y'all watching them women? Plus their voices are soft and sweet. They don't sound like Laila Nasheeba, do they? A couple of them look like nuns. All right. So, inshallah, this was a better day. Sister Norto, you did a good job today considering that you thought it was lawful. Do you still think it's lawful for a woman to work as a waitress, Norto? Norto? Big mouth. Where'd she go? Well, mashallah, she did good. Does everybody understand now, though, so I can move to my class? I'm doing this class today. We're going to finish the book today. That chapter today. Does everybody understand the difference between spectacle and display? Come on, sisters.
Yes.
Tomorrow is your turn, Famay. Famay never.
I was gonna give my answer too, but Norton.
I just thought about it. You ain't even. You know what? Let me look on this. You on my face, or you what you call it? Zoom. See what women in here. These young girls. Hold on, y'all. Let me see who all in here on Zoom. How do I show? Can y'all see too? Yeah, y'all see the names. Oh God, look at all them in there. And they didn't even answer the question. Look at all these women. Hold on, guys. Awa, Famay, Habiba, Norto, Fiza, Fatima, Jean-Louis, Geechee, Aisha, Latifa. Latifa answered already. Mina answered already. Precious, Rockmo, Shamika, Yasmin, Tony. Mashallah, Tony's here. And boy, y'all, tomorrow, I'm calling on y'all tomorrow. Y'all going to answer that question. And these are the young girls thinking they can be airline stewardesses, congresswomen. Why come I can't be a congresswoman? That's the question somebody asked. Can one of you sisters explain why a Muslim woman cannot be a congresswoman in America? Now, you could be a congresswoman probably in a Muslim country, but why come I can't be one in America? Can somebody explain for her? She wants to know. Hello? Are you sisters able to tell me, can I, or do you think we can? You think it's okay, Sister Tony? Tony, can I run for Congress? I want to be like that Somali lady. What's her name, y'all? What's the Somali lady's name? She's a congresswoman. Can I take her job? Tony?
No, you cannot take her job because the laws contradict Islam and we cannot be a Congress. That's why
Well, her mic done got messed up, but she hit the number one thing. We ain't got to go nowhere else. She said, how the heck you going to represent? How can you represent anything when the laws in America contradict the laws anyway? Right there should tell you that it's not a Muslim country. They don't believe. What does the prophet say? Thank you, Tony. The prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, our laws are for us. The non-Muslims' laws are for them. First of all, that's a place of hypocrisy you put yourself in. How you got to be sworn in as a congresswoman to represent the Constitution. Hey, I know, to represent the Constitution of the United States and its laws. How can you swear to represent America's Constitution and America's laws when they contradict Islam's? You representing homosexuality, same-sex marriage, and all this other stuff. So that right there alone should tell you, should no Muslim woman nor man. What about a Muslim man? Can he run for Congress too? Exactly. No Muslim man can do it either. That's not just a prohibition against women. That's against men too. Now, if you want to be in government, you better take your behind to a Muslim country and hope that they don't think that you a terrorist and execute you, because they don't practice Sharia law either. Yeah, we don't do that type of stuff. Now, if it was something different, like, say that your city council, your city council in your city is having a meeting to determine, what days of the week we can pick up trash. Can I participate in that? Can I participate in my public city council that wants to, just have somebody to go out and advocate what days of the week we should have our garbage picked up? What days of the week, whether or not the phone company should come and do everybody's line, whether or not we should have cable or Spectrum or ATT. Can I participate in that type of city government stuff? What do y'all think?
Yes, you can.
Why?
Because it's not contradicting our morals, our Islamic, taken away from our Islamic identity. It doesn't have anything to do with worship. It doesn't have anything to do with none of that. So yes,
exactly. That's fine. We can do that. That's the only type of politics that we can engage in. If it's all about garbage day, whether or not we're gonna prove, Spectrum to come in or AT&T, stuff like that. That ain't got nothing to do with our Islamic laws, our Islamic rules, our Islamic guidance, or theirs. Common sense. Everybody understand that? So even these type of rules are not just for women. They're for Muslims, period. If you're going to be in a position of authority, what are you authorizing? If the things you are authorizing contradict Islam, you stay out of that crap that lives in a non-Muslim land. Now, can I be a policeman? Can I be a fireman? Can I do something like that in a non-Muslim land? What y'all think? Can I work as a policeman or a fireman in a non-Muslim land? What y'all think?
Yes, because this is basically enjoining the good. You're protecting the people of the city and the town. So
exactly. Something like that, yes. Yeah. You can be a police officer. You can be a fireman. But can I be mayor of the city? Can I be mayor of the city? No, unless it's a Muslim city. And ain't no Muslim cities, although Dearborn's pretty close. The mayor of Dearborn is Muslim. Dearborn is a world in itself. Dearborn, Michigan is a whole new world. That's what they call it, little baby Lebanon. Everybody there is Muslim. The mayor is Muslim. The schools is Muslim, but they Shiite Muslims. But they, that's different. Dearborn is different. Okay, but can I be a mayor? No, because again, you got to take care of the laws. You're sworn by that Constitution and laws that may contradict Islam. You can't even run for president. We can't even be a president. Again, the prophet said non-Muslims are not rulers over Muslims, and we are not rulers over them like that. Know your place. And that's the problem. And that's why I love teaching this book. The lines have become blurred for us as Muslims. The lines, as one of my students said yesterday, have become blurred. We're living in a non-faith-filled environment, a non-faith-filled society where we, in turn, have lost our identity as Muslims. The lines are blurred. We think that we can blend in with them. No, we're supposed to do well better. We're supposed to distance ourselves in the non-Muslim environment from that which opposes Islam. We're not supposed to blend in and become a part of the society. And that's what Muslims today have done in the West. Muslims today in the West have blended in with society instead of distancing themselves from that which opposes it. Even when it comes to our friendships with each other. And that's what I'm going to do right now. Now I'm going to go to the lecture. It's not going to take but 10 minutes because it's just the last few pages. I want to cover the last 3 pages of this chapter. We have to implement well better even when choosing our friendships. And so let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen for that. I told y'all I'm going to finish this chapter today. This is all chapter, 4 or 5? Man, I love this chapter. This was one of the most empowering chapters of Kareem Abu Zaid's book, this volume 2, because it entailed self-reflection. How as Muslims, we have to do a lot of self-reflection to see if the jobs we have, the careers we have, the lifestyle we're living, is in sync with the laws, or have we become like the non-Muslims? Have we deviated away from the Quran and Sunnah in choosing our careers? Have we deviated away from the Quran and the Sunnah in choosing our relationships with others even? And by the way, let me share with you guys too, tomorrow we have a special lecture here at 11 o'clock at night tomorrow. And the reason why it's so late is because Dr. Ali is in a different time zone. He's going to do a lecture entitled, "Is Your Son a Gangster? Living the Thug Life. Have your children become gangsters?" Because that's the problem here in America. As you guys can see, the lines have become blurred. And we've lost our identity as Muslims. And we've taken on the identity of the non-Muslim world around us. Okay? And so let's take a look at today's PowerPoint. And again, this is completing chapter 4 of the book, or is it 5? 5. Chapter 5 of the book on self-reflections. So we'll be covering pages 198 through 200, where Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, and there's his picture. He's the one that put this beautiful masterpiece that has everybody mind boggled. And I hope Sheikh Kareem can hear me, or is looking. You have all these Muslims mind boggled with this masterpiece you put together, because as we check our identity, we notice the lines have become blurred. We're half Muslim, half non-Muslim. That's a terrible state to be in. Okay? So we're going to speak about choosing good friendships, because you are who and what you surround yourself with. Let's take a look at what the Sheikh spoke about here. Look at the picture I chose. Those are my two idiotic students who were in jail. Y'all see that? That's what they were doing. My two idiotic students that are in jail, getting ready to go back, being sent back to the Congo.
Zoom room, Sister Layla.
What about the Zoom? Y'all can't see? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Now can they still see on YouTube now? I didn't mess them up.
Yeah, they can see on YouTube.
Okay.
We just couldn't see it here.
Okay. All right. When we do self-evaluation, guys, self-evaluation plays a critical role in nurturing the quality of the relationships that we're in contact with in our journey, back to Allah. If we honestly assess the impact of the connections we have with other people, then we can identify the toxic or harmful relationships that may stand in the way of our progress. My two students who were on CNN News, who ended up in jail because they joined the Muslim Student Association and they protested against Gaza, wrapped up like this picture in flags of Gaza, though. They tore up a building. Oh, yeah. They tore that building to pieces. Okay? If they had accessed and identified who they were hanging with, first of all, the president of the MSA is a female, a Muslim chick from Pakistan, who only wears a hijab on the day of the Eid, like their father told them. What makes you think that these girls were some people you should have been involved with? The leader, she doesn't even wear a hijab. She doesn't even dress like a Muslim. She's got a boyfriend. The MSA date each other. She should have did some self-evaluation. Then she would have realized that these people are toxic. They're not like Norto. They're not like Aisha. They're not like Mayleon and the other students here as Sunnahfollowers. What made them gravitate towards those radical, crazy, non-praying, non-practicing Muslims? So this is something that we all need to do. Assess our relationships. Identify those relationships that are harmful for us. Identify those people who are toxic for us. Okay? And how can we do it? Well, through self-reflection. Your soul will be able to recognize what's bad for it, what's good for it. Look at the people's behavior, like their parents told them. Those girls don't wear hijab. Those girls don't pray. Those girls got boyfriends. That should have told you they're toxic. They're not the kind of Muslim girls you should be hanging around with. If we identify people and break them down, this is why I tell you guys, you will hear some of these new Muslims tell you, oh, you can't judge me. Who said that? In Islam, we are supposed to judge each other. We're supposed to judge each other's behavior. I can't judge what's in your heart, but I don't care what's in your heart, because whatever is in your heart is going to show through your actions. And the Prophet Muhammad said we're supposed to judge each other's actions, because a man takes on the religion of his friends. Just like those two girls who were my students did. They grew up on Sunnahfollowers. But look at how they took on the behavior, that character of those crazy MSA students who got them kicked out of school and in jail. So we have to evaluate the influence that the people that we hang out with may have on us. If you notice that certain friendships or associations take you away from Islam, take you away from our values, then stay away from them. That's common sense. And I want you parents to share this PowerPoint with your children. Oh yeah, the girls were on TV doing this. Oh yeah. But they had a Palestine flags all over them. Hair hanging out. Peace. Faces covered. I don't know what the covering the face is about, because they all got arrested and they all got identified as being protesters. They all got imprisoned. They all got felonies. They all got kicked out of their university. So what was the point in covering their faces anyway? I don't know, but that's what they were doing. This is all for TV, but I made it. This is all for TV, a picture, but I made it like an A&I. You know, so y'all can't figure out who they know who they are. This is a real woman. This is one of the protesters. I just made it an AI, what you call an AI generated animation. But this is them. Except it was a Palestine flag. I couldn't figure out the face covering. I don't understand. So, as Muslims, we should seek friendships and relationships that are based on righteousness. You want to seek out people who can encourage you, support you, and help you to grow spiritually. You want to seek out people who will help you to make sure that your prayers are performed on time every day. You want to seek out relationships with people who will remind you that your hair is hanging out, who will remind you to not fall for the dating game, who will remind you, sister, you gotta make sure you attend your classes, with Sister Laila. So what should be the basis of friendships? Righteousness. Taqwa Allah. If the woman doesn't have no fear of Allah, if the person has no fear of Allah, then that should not be your friend. Okay? And again, guys, find people who are like you. Your parents raised you to practice the deen. Your parents raised you as a Muslim boy to go to the mosque and pray. So you want to choose other friends who go to the mosque and play too. Yeah, we can go outside and play basketball. We can go outside and play football, but when the time to prayer come, we going to the mosque. We're going to jump on our bikes. We're going to ride to the masjid and pray with the imam. So you want to find relationships with people who are like-minded, like you. Okay? And again, when you evaluate the people you're in contact with and you see that they're harmful to you, then let them go. That's when we do distancing. I'm going to distance myself from you. I'll see you at college, but as far as hanging out with you after the college, I'm not doing that. Coming over to your house to join a study group with you, I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to distance myself from you because, your study group doesn't include taking a break to pray. Your study group includes boys. I'm a girl. We don't do that. So you have to let go and distance yourself of the harmful connections and become a positive influence. Just like this other picture. I like this picture here that I chose. These are college girls. This one here is a little bit weak, But look how she's attached to these two sisters. These are real sisters. They practice the religion well. They pray. They cover up. This one is just new to Islam. She's just now starting to cover up. But look how she's attached with them, because she knows that she can learn from them. She can pull her faith from them. So you want to attach to people who are going to make you better, not people who are going to take you down. You want to be a positive influence on those who come in contact with you, not a negative one. So, to keep your fitra ignited, to help your fitra on its journey back towards Allah, you have to do a lot of self-reflection and a lot of self-assessment, which includes the people that you surround yourself with. By nurturing positive relationships, this will help you to maintain your Muslim identity while living in a non-Muslim environment. Does everybody understand that? So this was a great chapter that Sheikh Kareem Abu Zayd put together, chapter 5. This chapter dealt with the awakening of the soul and how to keep it woke up, how to keep it awake. Number one, we talked about how we have to overcome pride, overcome arrogance, overcome our ego, woman up to whatever our weaknesses are, admit what our weaknesses are and try to change them. Recognize what our strengths are and try to continue to nurture them. We also talked about how we have to embrace gratitude, show gratitude towards Allah. Thank Allah for the good things in our lives. Instead of focusing on the negative things in your life, thank Allah for the good things and focus on the good. This will cause your soul to transform into self-contentment. And self-contentment leads to peace of mind. And then check the people that you surround yourself with. You don't want to surround yourself with associates who are negative, associates that do nothing but bring you down. You want to surround yourself with people, who are strong in their faith, strong in their practice, who will keep you strong, who will be able to catch you when they see that you're falling in your faith, and in turn pick you up and help put you back on track in your plight back towards Allah. So, mashallah, this was chapter 5 of this book, volume 2 of Diluting. And tomorrow what I'm going to do is move to the next chapter, which is chapter 6. As you can see, each chapter of this book becomes more and more and more detailed as to how to keep your soul on the right path, how to keep your soul tamed. Okay? All of our lights within our heart have been awakened. All of us should be experiencing strong iman, strong faith. The jihad or the struggle is to keep it strong. And it's going to entail doing this here, self-reflection. Get rid of the people that are toxic. Get rid of the jobs, those careers that you Muslim women got that you shouldn't have. I got a phone call yesterday from a Muslim girl. She works at CVS. She said that she lives here where I live. She said she listened to my lecture and she got my number offline and she wanted to know, is her job legal? She works at CVS and her job is simply a cashier. And sometimes she puts the items on the shelf. Is that a lawful job for a young Muslim girl to have? What do y'all think? What do you think? Is that a lawful job for her? And by the way, I'm asking because she's just logged on. Make it quick because she's at work. She is at work. Is this a lawful job for her? She's a cashier for CVS.
I would say yes, it's a lawful job. Because she's not really dealing with the public per se. She's just putting things on the shelf, taking them away, and just, collecting goods, running them through, checking them out, bagging them. So she should be okay.
Exactly. And she's at the CVS near you, Latifah. She's on that, works at that CVS near where you live, over there in Lee Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I go to that one.
That's what I was told her too. I said, probably I've seen Latifah. She said, I know you don't know me, but I watch your videos and I was listening to you. She said that I found your number on the internet. She said, is my job okay? She said, I'm 19. She said, I wear hijab and everything. I said, yeah, your job is lawful.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for it.
Exactly. But I'm gonna tell you, Muslima, what is the problem y'all make? Muslima said no. Muslima said because she has to deal with alcohol. Who said she has to deal with alcohol? Was that in my question? Why do you sisters, every time I ask about a job, why do you women throw alcohol in it? Did I mention anything about alcohol? Why do y'all think that everything is alcohol? Seriously, what's wrong with y'all? Y'all drink? We on drugs? Gangster lifestyle. Okay, y'all got to stop throwing alcohol and stuff. What's wrong with y'all? That ain't the question. Why do y'all answer the question by throwing in garbage? This sister don't deal with no alcohol. She's a cashier. And she sometimes will stock stuff. She don't deal with no alcohol. Why don't y'all stop with the alcohol? Don't y'all know this is the year 2024? Everybody knows that Muslims don't deal with alcohol and pork. So most people don't even ask you to deal with the alcohol and pork. So y'all got to stop that. Stop throwing in alcohol. Who mentioned anything about alcohol? What's wrong with it?
But one thing about alcohol, even for people that work there that's underage, there's always someone that you call to handle that stuff. You don't even have to touch.
That's what she said. She said they don't deal with, yeah, exactly. By the way, let me explain that. This is America. You got to check people when they buy alcohol anyway. Who said that Muslim women, all I got to do is say I don't deal with alcohol. Can you take that order? And you walk away. The Kafirs don't have a problem. The problem is us. We are our biggest enemy. The Kafirs know our religion better than we do. They don't, and the Kafirs here in America don't want no lawsuits. CVS don't want no lawsuit. Walmart don't want no lawsuit. Walgreens don't want no lawsuit. So they know your rights as a Muslim. And they don't make you deal with alcohol. And they don't make you deal with pork. They'll tell you if somebody got alcohol, somebody got pork, switch. Have the other cashier ring them out. That's how easy the Kafirs are. It's we Muslims that destroy each other. So y'all keep alcohol out of these answers. Unless I give y'all a question that mentions alcohol, I don't want y'all to ever throw the word alcohol out there again, okay? Because it just behooves me as a daya and also a paralegal and an American citizen to see how American Muslims are just lame. Yeah. Answer the questions. Don't add to it. Yeah. But yeah, so for the sister, she's here. You can ready to log out? Yeah. Your job is, she said that's right. She says she never has to deal with alcohol. She said nobody's ever made her deal with alcohol. She said she switches out. The job is easy, she say. The pay ain't good. She said to tell Latifah, yeah, she'll look for her. She said, I'll look for you when you come in the store. Okay. Peace out, sister. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for joining my classes and listening. Spread the word. Spread the word to the sisters here in Cleveland that Laila Nasheeba is home. Okay. Wa alaikum salam, sister. MashaAllah. CVS. Over there where Tiba live, y'all. Lee Road area. Carmetta. Check her out. Lee Road. All right. Okay, so everybody understand that. Yeah, that's not there. There's nothing wrong being a cashier, sisters. Or working at CVS. My granddaughter works at worked. She got fired. One of my other granddaughters worked at a CVS and got fired because she was too lazy. Yeah. It's a good job.
Question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I know that there's a few Muslim sisters that work at Walgreens too over here where I live. But what about their dress? Because the uniform is a belt around the pants, so you can see like our whole shape and everything.
They use it. I know here in America, here where I live, that the Muslim women wear their abayas and put that little thing on, and they don't stop you. I'm telling y'all, America. One thing about America, it's the most racist country in the world. That's true. But America is an EEO country. They don't want no EEO civil rights lawsuits. So like I said, you can do anything in America. You can come out the house naked. So working in those little stores don't care about you wearing an abaya. My granddaughter Jayla's sister, she wore an abaya and had a little smock over it. That's when she was covering up. You know, she covers up sometimes she don't. You know, 18. So they don't care about that. Just put the little smock over it. Ain't nobody gonna sue you, girl. Don't nobody want no lawsuit in America. That's why I tell y'all, they know your rights as a Muslim better than you do. The major corporations in America, they are trained. They are trained on the rights of Jehovah's Witnesses, because they got some rights too. They're trained on the rights of Orthodox Jews. As HR, you're also trained on the rules of Muslims. They don't discriminate. If the women are wearing pants and a blue shirt without an abaya, it's because the women want to. It's because they want to. It's not because their job requires it. I know, because I am an EEO investigator. Hello, still licensed, even though I'm retired. So if you got Muslim women that's not dressed properly, it's because they don't want to dress properly. Because one thing about America, they are not going to violate your Islamic dress code. And the same with you bearders. I know as a union steward, I worked for the government. When that COVID first came out, they tried to make all the men shave their beards that work in healthcare. Oh no, Layla stood up and said, oh no, we won't. I said, you are about to get the biggest unfair labor practice charge. I told him my best friend is with CARE. I said, we getting ready to surround the Capitol in the state of Ohio. We get ready to file EEO civil rights violations, and I will have the United Care with me, the Muslims Association. We get ready to bring it down. They said, no, keep your beard. Just make sure it can fit inside the mask. Hello. So that don't work here, y'all. That's my profession. They don't want no civil lawsuit. So if there's Muslim women working at CVS, and the girl just logged back on, she said she logged on to tell us that they don't emphasize no dress code like that. So any Muslim women that are walking around looking like Kafir women is because they want to. These American companies are trained on the rights of Muslims, the rights of Jehovah's Witnesses, the rights of Orthodox Jews, and they getting ready to add the LDS Mormons too, because the Mormons done rose up with some crazy stuff now. So that's garbage. Y'all can talk that stuff to these Arabs that come to America that don't know. Remember, I'm Arab American. I was born here from the civil rights movement. Hello. All right. So those women choose to dress that way, precious. It ain't because they made to. And that girl just logged on and said they don't implement no dress code like that. They don't enforce that. Yeah. I know they didn't, because my granddaughter worked at CVS. That's when she was covering up. She had her abaya on and her little smock. And her hijab. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions or comments, women? You sisters got it together. Y'all better get it together. Good job, Norto, today. Good job, Aisha. Just more description next time. Okay, guys, I'm going to log out for right now because we have the Call In and Ask Sister Laila live show. My call-in show is at 9 p.m., so we got an hour break. Any questions y'all have about Islam, bring them here. If it's something I can't answer, I got Sheikh Morsi on standby. We also have Jamali around somewhere. So please be here in an hour. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.